The map number 1 of Ascent goes the way of Shopify Rebellion at 13-6 against FlyQuest, and they are 1 map away from moving to the grand finals. Bala, it was a map that it was exactly what we expected, and I'd like to bring a point that you were mentioning in the green room, and it was how when you're picking Ascent, no matter the score, you're guaranteeing that the other side is going to go on the defense, and that was Shopify in the defense looking really good.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I commend them for trying to go for a pick where, you know, they stomped them last time in this map in the open qualifier a month ago. I think it's them trying to target a weakness, but the problem is when it's Ascent, you're picking like they're always going to pick defense, and you give them a leg up in that instance. So it's kind of rough, and I think we saw the results of that. But I do have to say, like, just unfortunate scenes for a lot of these post plans by FlyQuest, because oftentimes they're getting the site. I mentioned as well, like, dude, they were on the site like every other round. It's just stuff like this with this ult out of Sarah, where the TP is perfect, getting Dodo Nut basically. It's just unfortunate events after unfortunate events. That ult, for example, could have made it so that this 5v5 goes a different direction. If you give a little bit more time there for FlyQuest to set up, it might be a different story.
Yeah, and on the other front too, there was a moment where Baby Bay brought this up where, you know, when this FlyQuest team was getting this fight down and playing proactively and a little bit more aggressively on their post plans, it was working out really nicely for them. But the thing was, every time they set up on a more reactionary basis, they were giving up, again, like you kind of mentioned, a lot of space. And when you have the individual skill that SR does, they're going to utilize that space to great avail. And that was kind of the case, not just once, but a couple of different times. So there is this level of, yeah, you pick Ascent, you find yourself starting on offense, and maybe there was a little bit of relish kind of smeared on the hot dog there from when they wanted to play it last time and they found so much offensive success. But Shopify definitely looked much better overall from the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, even in that last round, you're talking about proactivity. The timing there, if it was a slightly 1 more seconds early, and then all of a sudden you get the lurks off, and it works. But yeah, honestly, the score, to me, it actually feels a little like it looks a little closer than it was, to be honest, and that might be a little harsh, but it was pretty dominant there from Shopify, and I would credit a lot of it to just them being able to pull out just some random stuff and keep the pressure on to force errors out of FlyQuest.
And this time around for FlyQuest, you can still see a couple of the first blocks that go their way, but they're not always and often able to convert them the way that they wanted to. One of the points that we touched on early on before jumping into this map, and one of the rounds that was actually successful was that eco round where Dodo found a kill. It happened twice actually, where she was able to find a kill with the sheriff and work their way from that. But there was definitely a lot of space given to Shopify, and you can tell the difference between the two. You can tell the team that has been together for the longest time and which one is kind of the newer team, right? When you see Shopify, even the ideas that they had on the pistol round, holding, expecting aggression on B main, or even when you see the second round, the second half, where there was this positioning all across the map, trying to get the orbs, understanding the small missions that they have to find success at the end of the day, Bala.
Yeah, and like if you do look at that second half, there was some really nice ideas from FlyQuest too. I mean, especially that round before last where they had that trap play in mid, for example, those sorts of things. They could have, I mean, if we had a little bit more time on that attack side, it could have ended up being something significant there for them. But yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of Ascent sometimes.
And it could have been even the way that we saw yesterday when it was Decimate and YFP, where teams were just getting the most rounds on the attacking side, almost making a comeback. But no, it is Shopify, and when Shopify starts strong, they're going to make sure that they're going to end strong.
That's not going to happen with this experience out there on the server from both sides. It's not going to happen like that.
And now, as we jump into what is going to be the next map, we also need to talk about what Fluorescent did. We mentioned a little bit of the impact of First Bloods, and it was, I want to say, a little bit slower, and it was still great when we saw at the beginning. But it's going to continue this way. We jump into buying, the compositions might look a little bit different shift, and even then, Fluorescent is always finding a way in, and that is also the support that you get from Shopify Rebellion.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, we can kind of harken back to the point we're talking about where it's like SR were given some space, and sure, that was the case sometimes, but there's also, let's call a spade a spade. Fluorescent's also just creating more than enough space for the rest of the team to work around. I mean, the Sheriff shot's unbelievable. Even just contesting the exits we saw early on in that first half will really tax on you mentally. It's just like, we can't even get out of these post plants cleanly. It just feels like everything's being challenged. And when you have a duelist that could get in, find first blood, and then survive to go 2.0 KD, it just feels like sometimes there's 6 players on the map. And I'm sure that last round in particular probably felt like that in particular, due to the fact that how much back and forth there is happening of they're on A, no, they're on B, no, they're still in mid. It's just, it feels like they're everywhere, and Fluorescent's a big reason on why.
I don't think she was a big part of the plan there, though, in terms of like getting her active. I think they gave her a little bit more loose of a leash this game, which is very interesting given her tendency to overheat in some cases. But like 15% at first blood, like that's very low. Like we're talking about her average, right? It's like 22 or something like that. That's already passive for a Jet player, especially an op and somebody who's aggressive like Floor. But here it's very, very low. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to progress, because that may actually be a sign of things to come, maybe a weakness here on today's forum for Shopify.
That's interesting, especially when we take a look at, once again, what the maps are going to look like in case we get to the third map, and it's going to be Bind, and if needed, it's going to be Lotus. Again, this is the match that's going to guarantee the first team that is going to move to the grand finals of the first main event that we have this year. So it is a big deal, both for FlyQuest to make sure that the changes that they made in the team, this new additions, and this strong team coming together, find success early on, but also for Shopify for keeping what is like they're used to getting to these grand finals. And now, Chef, we get to see the compositions. There's new things, and there's a Yoru for actually Sunder. I love that.
Yeah, a little bit of a throwback, eh? I mean, for FlyQuest Red, they really haven't strayed too far away from what has been kind of the tried and true. Maybe a couple of flexes here between, are they going to play a Cypher, are they going to play a Fade? But now it's a different, unique look with the Euro getting kind of put into play. So it'll be curious, I think, just to see what kind of value they can create. And I think kind of the same rate we're talking about Fluorescent, creating space and Ascent, that is going to be Sander's principal job, is being able to feel out not only the ability of when I need to be moving between sites defensively, but how much chaos can I start to create at the openings of these executes towards spike sites.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Shopify last year, that at the end of the year on their bind, they were focused on a lot of Yoru comps, but this one's really different. I mean, from FlyQuest, I'm seeing a little influence here from last year's Ethan and EG Ethan going into this one, because Saunders playing Initiator. Like, this is, she's no longer a duelist player for this team, right? So maybe Joe will be taking some inspiration from the other side of that team last year. And yeah, we'll see how, is this the aggressive Yoru, or is this the more supportive one that Ethan may have started? It's going to be interesting to see.
It's so exciting seeing these two duelists that we've talked about individually. We talked about the support, and I think Sunder has all the potential to be that extra support, but also bring some aggression when that's going to be needed from Dodo. So excited to see how this is going to play out. I love seeing new compositions being played out, and now it's time we send it to the second map. Is Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Dre. We've got to talk about the comp that FlyQuest are running, because it's got some hints of what was happening last year, as Ball was saying, with EG, with a little bit of FlyQuest sprinkled into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big change of pace for them, I feel like, because if I'm correct, they're playing like a breach, like a breach instead of the Yoru. So it is going to be a lot different, and we're going to have to see a lot of crazy plays. Maybe some motivation or stuff like that from the likes of Sentinels. So maybe we're going to see some set plays that we've seen Tens do before, right? Stuff like that. But on the flip side, I want to talk about Shopify right now, because they're actually really, really good at bind. And one of the maps that they actually were phenomenal on in that Challengers Open Qualifier was bind, beating a lot of like known players of the tier 2 community, like Shot Up, like Ion, like these young kids that are like really insane. So SR is no slouch on this map. They're really good.
Ultorb already funneled into Dodo Nut. They're gonna get out onto A, and they're gonna manage to avoid a lot of this Killjoy utility, or a lot of the Cypher, utility that's set up on the site. Sarah's the only one here. It was a deeper trip, I guess, intended to confirm that there's no push into pipes, but now that it's cleared, it's gonna inject just enough doubt, a little bit of paranoia into the minds of Sarah. She has to step forward a little bit, clear it out. She can't focus on what's happening on the site.
Game planning is so good. They understand that FlyQuest doesn't have a trip, so they're able to make plays like this and not have to worry about that spawn push because of that trip.
Starbound's in a really good spot. If they can keep control, of U-Haul. There might be a shot at this. Sarah looking for the first target. Donut's there to respond and greet gladly. Alexis has already gotten it to half. Oh, but FlyQuest is getting all the kills they could want. A flawless round to kick things off.
That Yoru flash from Sonder was amazing. I think it hit like 2 or 3 players from Shopify.
Yeah, it might have hit a FlyQuest member too.
Yeah, it probably did, but just that flash alone actually just dominated that entire retake that SR was trying to do. But you do see why SR set that entire thing up, right? They have a trip deep spawn. They understand that they're playing against FlyQuest, who likes to disrupt in the post plant, right? So just trying to hold on to that whole spawn area while they're able to walk down. Now, I would have liked to see Shopify maybe jump the gun a little bit earlier on pushing down that hookah area.
Yeah.
Since they already had 4 players geared towards there anyway, right? I think that's the only thing that was lacking out of that retake, but another fast A hit here from FlyQuest, conditioning the A side of the map.
There.
And this late work.
A little bit of spam towards Noya. Ultimately falls. They're going to continue to push the matter. There was a pinch coming in from Showers, too.
I mean, that was very risky, but it actually opens up
Ooh.
a lot. Great nade from Floor.
One found, no real way to upgrade a weapon. But Floor does have a Sheriff. Thea pushing forward, dropping Sarah. As the spike ticks away, time is dwindling. It's running low.
Oh,
Options don't
good
necessarily
nade.
abound here. Yeah, it's a second nade out from Floor. Alexis not able to get it to half this time. And it's a clean, I mean, well, okay, maybe clean is a little strong, but it's another round for FlyQuest.
yeah, I mean, they definitely got the site for free again. So I'm wondering now, on this bonus round for FlyQuest, do they maybe hint that they're going to lean towards the A side of the map and then go back to B? Or do they just start off by going B right off the rip? And it looks like we're already seeing it. Just a nice little B side default here. Or FlyQuest. Are they going to do a hookah? I think they might do a hookah pop, potentially.
I'll shut that race up.
Oh, it is. It is going to be what I said. So they're going to feint the A with a Yoru clone and this Viper wall. And orb lineup. This cam should have all the info for Shopify, so this might not actually work.
Yeah, I don't know that there was enough here to sell this. You still have the trips. You're going to have to deal with the satchel out. They've already gotten out onto the site, though. Trip's still up, but Donut had gotten through. It's all just a distraction, though. It was not enough. Now Starbound's left alone. The spike sitting harmlessly on the ground in B, and the round is over.
Yeah, that was a very early hookah pop. Like, usually you want to show a little bit more presence when you're throwing a fake.
Yeah.
But I think that they just thought that they had a hard read, right? Like, I think FlyQuest were trying to read really into it and, like, just run a set play is pretty much what I'm getting out of that, because they instantly walked up to hookah and then swung as soon as the A short utility was coming up. So
Yeah.
not letting the fake cook at all, you know? So SR was just dialed in on their crossfires on this B site, not having to worry about B long at all because of those trips. We're already seeing... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say very quickly, even the trip out of hookah
30
was...
seconds left.
Yep.
Donut had gotten out. I think one more had funneled out before it was finally caught.
Yep. It's a pretty cool setup from Shopify as well, because we're putting trips on B and then we have a cam on A, and we're kind of playing like a little bit of a retakey setup on A. So just spreading out that Cypher utility on the whole map, it's like it's gonna be so impressive in the later rounds, because it's like, okay, where's the Cypher actually setting up? Because this round there was trips on B, the cam was on A, and we know all that. You know, so like, when is the Cypher gonna be actually playing with the cam? When is the Cypher gonna be actually playing with the trips? That's what you're gonna be wondering about as an IGL if you're on FlyQuest.
That goes there. Wow, this is a nice spot.
See what they do here. Those early trips set up towards A this time. Much more aggressive, too, than what we saw on the pistol. This does look like where FlyQuest are interested in heading.
Doug, me and you have spoken about how me and you are personally not fans of playing like a retake A setup and playing this backside area. But with these trips, it could be so impressive.
No, it's already fallen. But Saunders there for the great... I mean, the TP and then the ability to apply pressure in showers is perfect. And it's going to TP away.
I'm just not down. Big noise. Sonder and Floor are going to make first contact with each other here.
My ultimate.
What was that shot?
It's just filth, man.
And yeah, I was talking about how like holding onto that A site, you know, playing that backside area with the trips could be really good, but against a Yoru, like Yoru doesn't care about your trips, you know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna TP past all of them.
Yeah. And we've seen some pretty aggressive spots and positioning out from Sonder, which has been a lot of fun to watch, and it's caused problems.
Yeah. Well, actually really comfortable on the Yoru. And Yoru is not an easy character to make look like you're comfortable on, honestly. So many different mechanics of it. A lot of people get caught out with their utility.
Molly.
Oh wait, Mel does this, right? That Molly missed. That one doesn't, though.
Oh, no. Maybe if she had gotten it to half and then had a chance to take a fight. Maybe. But FlyQuest get their third, and again, it's been off of Sonder. The aggressive positioning she's been able to take in the playmaking has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also it looks like they have a really good read of how SR likes to play this A site. Like, committing all that pressure into showers with 4 players from FlyQuest, and then just having the Yorus just solo wrap around off of timing. Like, it's basically like a hard read play, right? Because had SR been in any other spot like U-Haul, like even just backside of A, not fighting towards the shower, you punish that Yoru 9 times out of 10. So having a really good understanding of how SR likes to play this map and using that to their advantage. Great prep work so far. And now we see the change of pace, right? We've seen fast hits for the last, what, 4 rounds in a row? They don't want to get ecoed by Floor again.
No. I mean, it's Shopify are just rolling in this death ball. They were early B, quickly hit the rotate back A. They're rolling in the pack.
This is the right spot to be. This is gonna be insane. Two players decide to break the dog there. And again.
Woo. Oh, that nade's not going to feel good. The TP again provides safe passage out.
Great positioning from Sonder, Doug.
But this should be, I mean, this feels a little bit labored, and it's taking perhaps a little bit longer than people would expect. But
left.
for all intents and purposes, this is exactly what you need if you're FlyQuest.
They look good. They look really good right now. They have a really good game plan going into this map. I like how aggressive they're being, even though they lost the last map. 13-6. There were some close rounds that they probably could have won, and maybe the score would have been a 13-10 or something like that. But my point is, they're not scared right now. Yeah, you got dominated the last map, but they came into this map just full guns blazing, full steam ahead. Sonder, great positioning. A lot of these round wins I feel like have been off the back of Sonder, honestly, with whether it was the pistol round flash, right, or even just the lurk plays that she just got right now. Now, this is the first timeout this series from Shopify, which is funny to say. It just makes you think, are we going to see something ridiculous now? Are we going to see like an 8-4 out of Shopify? FE's just like, what are you guys doing? Get it together.
I mean, this feels, again, Dre, this feels a lot like their match 2 days ago, right? Remember, it was an early start out from Decimate, and Shopify got kind of pushed a little bit. They had to call an early timeout, and ultimately they pulled away, but FlyQuest is pushing them early.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, if I'm Shopify right now as the players, yeah, like, I feel like a lot of these rounds haven't really been too close, but they're all so experienced as a roster, and they are champions, right? We can't forget about that. Oh, this is a really cool trip lineup.
This goes here.
Yo. Wait, I'm using that. Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I really like that trip. That is so unique. Holy cow. But yeah, they have so much experience on the side of Shopify that, like, yeah, you're down 4-1. Whatever, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't matter. And now you're seeing that heavy emphasis towards the A side of the map. 3 players here now with trips, with the cam. But again, just deciding to play this backside area, relying on the retakes. And they don't want to get caught up close, especially against, Ray's Rocket or Brimalt.
That would be a bad day. That would be a bad day for sure. Good night. They're patient with this one, aren't they?
FlyQuest is just letting the time just cook. And I mean, we've seen 3 different rotations already from Shopify and no movement from FlyQuest except for this aggressive U-Haul positioning. Are they gonna commit to this?
Oh my gosh! Dodo tried going aggressive. Tried catching a timing. She's popped out of the sky.
I did bait the Brimalt out though. Now Noya.
See though, that's like swatting a bug out of the sky, man. That was nuts. You just get slayed at when you think you have a shot.
Oh, Mel!
Spams through, 10 seconds left.
One enemy.
You're gonna try to get the spike down. Say it can't, and that no way. Sarbat surely does not have enough time. I mean, the nade, the pit, dancing around, dealing through the spam. Nothing can be found for Sarbound. Shopify, get a second.
Gosh, the macro game it was so good from FlyQuest. I mean, maybe the only thing I would have changed is instead of leaning a lot of players towards the hookah area, I probably would have wanted them to go B long so you could rip that TP faster and get that bomb down a little bit quicker, right? So you don't have to deal with that Raze Rocket and putting your Viper in that scenario where, Starbound has to try to win a 1v3 on the retake with no time left. But the way they set up the round was really clean. I mean, you saw even Mel didn't realize that somebody could be pushed up under heaven there.
Mel might be suspecting some of this early push here. And dude, she's so ahead of it. Saunders 1 point away from ult, so what is she doing? Posted up showers. Meanwhile, they're going to try to pinch. Saunder falls, feeling some of the pressure. It's a little bit late. It's a little bit late, but it finally comes through. Donut falls.
All Mel has to do here is just live and waste time. Wait for your teammates to retake. All 3 players from FlyQuest in showers spamming a smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that's tough.
Down A.
There's no way. Good luck.
They're still so worried about Mel. Mel played this round perfectly.
I think it just felt predictive. It felt predictive. It felt like she was a step ahead of what FlyQuest were going to try to do, because remember, it wasn't just Mel who was holding the orb for Saunder to get the ult. Right? Floor was there with her. It was perfect.
And then even having the heads-up awareness to just sit right on the edge of that smoke so that Yoru blind can't actually hit you is you're right. It was a hard read.
Yeah,
100% correct. And then on the flip side, FlyQuest was a little bit too focused on trying to get that trade on Mel that they just gave up the entire A site and allowed Shopify to just walk out CT spawn. So just maybe a little bit too dialed in on trying to get that trade, and they get punished for it.
Tunnel vision.
Exactly.
Oh, not again. She's got to know this time. She used the ult.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Dude, there's no way.
Before the ult goes off. Does that waste the ult? That's the question.
It has to. Yeah, it has to. Yeah, absolutely. I say that with 99% confidence.
I mean, I hope you're right.
I think I am. We'll find out here soon. Either way, FlyQuest are somehow in defensive
Look at
spawn.
this round. This is so awkward. We're jump spotting spawn. We have control of this. Are they gonna? They should just plant for CT at any moment now. Hold on to that CT space because they should be aware that there was 2 showers.
Yeah.
How do you hold this? Oh, this is so tough. With the guns they have, it might work out really well, Doug.
There's going to be a ferocious gunfight.
Here.
Wait, was that flash too deep? No, that flash might have been too deep. Thea's going to get the first one to Sarah. The double face is way too much. Spike's ticking away. I don't know how they're going to get through this.
What?
Ah, yes, of course it's a run and gun. Of course it's the run and gun.
No, yeah.
They've gotten it out, dude. That's unreal.
FlyQuest getting a little bit too antsy on that post plant. They actually had the perfect crossfire, especially with that nade that Dodo Nut threw. Made Sarah have to make a last minute decision. And you're right, that ult is gone.
One enemy remaining.
That's insane timing, man.
That's
I think
crazy
you're right.
timing.
I've seen that obviously with like Rays and stuff like that, but
Caution
with
here.
the Yoru, that's nuts.
I mean, just to be even in that interaction in the first place is so weird, right? Really showers presence.
Big teleport.
FlyQuest. Nothing new here, honestly. Good trade.
I've got your trail. Satchel out.
That flash right
that
in
was
Floor's
great.
face. Dude, this is impossible to hold.
One down.
I swear it's impossible to hold.
Spike down A.
There's just no way.
Sarah has bomb. And Noya's walking up into heaven. Noya takes the timing to peek right now.
Last player standing.
Oh. No, it was just a little late.
Still don't have bomb though. Noya's been stone cold killer in all these rounds.
One enemy remaining.
There's the first. She's so mobile with this Phantom right now. Her movement's on point. And the reposition.
There's no way, right?
This is crazy.
30 seconds left.
Lace is so crazy for going for this.
There's still just so much time. I think that's part of the problem here is Noya's left guessing.
Oh no. Overthinking it was Lace.
Uh-oh.
Should hit a trip right here.
Oh, she got past the trip.
That cage
The
trigger.
tag, 10 bullets
time?
left. I mean, I don't think she can push it. I think she's too far away. Oh, but she took the bait! She was expecting the fight, and Noya, like, giga-brained the round!
You forget. I always play high stakes.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal. That is brutal. Sometimes, in order to win rounds, you don't even need to shoot your gun. That's the beauty in Valorant.
Player standing.
The mind games.
One enemy remaining.
Both players were trying to just mind game each other. And honestly, I thought what Lace did there when she ran back into U-Haul made it obvious that she was making all those steps, acting like she was going to take that TP. That actually baited Noya to already lean deep spawn towards B. But like, you can't really know that, right? It's all just a guessing
No, there's
game.
no way. It's a
Yeah.
It's a 50-50, exactly.
That's what it comes down to when you're playing at this level, Doug. And after that timeout, I mean, Shopify stringing a bunch of rounds together, and this round's looking good for them as well.
What was the score? Remind me. Was it like 4-1?
Yep.
Something like that, and then the timeout happened, and it's just been wraps.
I do want to say, I feel like Floor's been relatively quiet this half.
Toxins going up.
Opting to use the Phantom as well. I feel like when I see Floor and she's very confident, she's on that Vandal. That's what I know her for. That's what we all know her for.
Right?
Getting those
Well, we
crazy
know her
clips.
for shooting.
Exactly.
We know her
right?
for shooting, no matter what.
Spike down A.
Another good Yoru flash.
Dude, I mean,
30
Sonder's been
seconds
really impressive on this Yoru.
Yeah. She's very, very comfortable on the character. And it's not an easy character
Launching smoke.
by any means.
Open up the sky.
Oh, that's really close. That's really
Another
aggressive.
great
They can't
flash.
see a thing, and that's gonna net a kill.
Spike
I mean,
down.
oh no, there was just not enough time. There just weren't enough bullets. There just weren't enough team members.
Not
There
enough
wasn't enough of
flashes.
anything.
Not enough flashes.
Yeah, not enough flashes, not enough Sonder.
Her flashes are actually on point though. Both those kills to almost bring back the round just off of Saunders' flashes alone. Sitting at 10 and 7, and Lace right now having a little bit of a rough game, but still setting up her team really well. 8 assists on the board. And a FlyQuest Timeout. Trying to bring back this half, trying to at least get one more round on the board on what has been a pretty even game so far. You know, momentum back and forth. You saw FlyQuest get 4-1 round, 4-1, and now it's 6-4. So just both teams stringing in multiple rounds together. What's the adaptation going to be for FlyQuest is the question. Because it just seems like they've been getting shut down on these A post plants now. Not able to kill all the players in the shower area.
It's just tough when they're so heavily overwhelmed, right? When there's so much presence there.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't really seen an actual B hit from FlyQuest either in this half.
I mean, really, other than
like a true B hit, right? With like all five. We're going from hookah. We're going from long.
What do they have here? What do they have to go? Dodo's 1 point away from having her ult online. A desperate need to keep this in competitive and to get around. And I like what they're doing. They're using the Yorus to clone to clear out the trips, but look at that trip just a little bit higher up. Just in case they wanted to take some space. But there's no satchel here. There's no go button quite yet.
I mean, normally this trip is for like a raise rocket.
Yeah, and it's around early.
I wonder if it's the condition for the next round. I wonder if they're already playing for the next round. Shopify.
Dude, that would be such big brain. That would be nuts. Almost getting that kill. And it was great setup off the flash. Dodo swinging out. Honk honk. I've arrived. Just next to truck, but there was nothing there.
Sonder again going aggressive.
Ooh.
She does it again.
He's just been nuts. Saunders after
comes
getting
the
the
flash.
bag. Another good flash.
And we're
TP's
out.
away. Stays alive. It's just been such a fun game to watch. FlyQuest with numbers, but of course it's Floor and Smell keeping it competitive. It was a 5v3 and it crumbles.
Molly.
Now the Molly to buy some time with the smoke there. Floor somehow, dude, Floor somehow satcheled up, got the kill on Sonder. Thea gets another. Mel left in a heroic position.
Hold on to your hats.
But way too much to deal with, right? Time's got to be short.
No time,
There's
no
not
time, no
enough
time.
here. There's not enough. A big round for FlyQuest.
Last
They
round
keep catching
in the half.
SR off guard in these aggressive positions. I mean, Sonder even staying there for what I thought was a little bit way too long, right? After this first blood, maybe just get out. She had the TP up the entire time, but deciding to stay there and just delay.
One
That
enemy
ultimately
remaining.
ends up allowing FlyQuest to just molly the bomb off and giving Mel no time to stick that bomb.
Yep.
Time to jump.
And so we near and enter the last round of the half, and it's been a competitive one. And honestly, in a surprising manner, too, given that this is where Shopify is
What is
usually
this
so
crosshair?
comfortable.
I'm
I
so
don't know,
sorry.
bro.
I'm
It
so sorry.
distracted me, too. No,
what is this
I get it.
crosshair?
I get it. It messed with me as well. I was trying to stay focused, but I saw it, too. You messed me up.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna see ranked players everywhere with this crosshair after this match.
Let's not encourage it.
This thing
Dude,
is...
if they do try to hit a B hit here, they're gonna have to deal with all these trips. Dodo gotten over the first. Satchel past the first trip. Really nice passing! Gets a kill on Sarah, but it's traded. And now there's not really a ton. Now you're starting to see the funnel out from B. 4 falls, Seekers invested.
Found one.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to get through this. They haven't cleared out Elbow either. Alexis and Noya, the two that remain.
There's enough.
Sonder again.
Welcome to my world.
Closed.
There's a really nice timing here for Noya.
Knife. No
One
way.
enemy remaining.
No way.
No.
The BM.
I'll handle this.
That's tragic and toxic. I think it was the default skin too. That's brutal.
She's going for more?
Not again. No flashes.
No way. No way.
Oh gosh. Okay. All good.
No way.
All
Having
good.
fun with it. Having fun with it, Doug. That's a really good sign for FlyQuest.
The vibes have to be good if you're trying to do things like that. Noya's gotten it down to 2. Noya's gotten it down to 1. Time is short again. The great equalizer. Noya gets all 4, but the timer runs out. We're tied at 6.
And yeah, FlyQuest is having fun, but Noya having something to say about it. All right. Cool. I'll let you win this round, but you didn't even have a chance against me. There's a really cool setup to this round as well. They use the same Viper wall as the previous round to condition the rocket play. And just to have the heads-up awareness of Dodo to take that first blast pack into close elbow and then double back and rocket the site, just that little micro play, it was so beautiful to watch. And I mean, you could tell by our reactions in that. Noya again having a heater of the game in this even half. We got a game on our hands right now.
Yeah, we do. In surprising fashion, we had a little frenzy going on here too for Sonder. Doesn't look like that's where the play is going to be.
Wow. Huge first blood from Dodo. I feel like Floor's been having a very rough game.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet. It's been a little human. That might be the best way to describe it.
Most human game from Floor.
Yeah.
It's an even half.
Poison's off.
What is that? First contact going to be made here from Sonder.
Oh, it's the frenzy. Oh, it's a dink, and that's all it is.
That's insane.
Lace is there to greet. Two on the... Oh, my gosh.
Spike down, B.
All three found from Lace. Theo with the last, and FlyQuest have the lead.
Yeah. And at the end, Lace staring down Sarah with her knife out. Straight up. Just, she got her 3 kills and went wide with a knife out.
That's
So
just wild.
Thea could get the kill. I mean... It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy right now. FlyQuest is feeling like really good right now. I'm actually just shocked at how they're playing a lot of these scenarios and the confidence and swagger that they're using as well. They're looking really good on bind so far. I didn't think that they would be cooking this much, Doug.
I mean, they might cook us all the way to Lotus if they keep this up.
If there's any team
see.
that can take down Shopify, feels like it has to be FlyQuest, right?
Yeah, they certainly have the best chance.
Oh my gosh, Lace. Waking up.
Dude, those eco frags always feel so good.
Yeah, they do. It builds confidence too as a player.
Oh, 1000%.
One enemy remaining.
Doesn't matter how you get the job done, as long as the job is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be
matter
pretty.
how you do it. Exactly.
It doesn't have to be pretty.
All right, Floor is dead. Floor's dead. FlyQuest get to 8, a flawless round for the defense. Now we're starting to see this gap build Dre to go 2 rounds now. 2 rounds into the previous half, 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, clean shots from Lace here in this hookah area.
Pat, you won't get to see him.
Either way. Nice bulldog shots. Making a statement on this B side. If you want to come B, you're gonna have to deal with me. Back-to-back 3Ks, I believe. Lace into this half. Giving her team the lead. Now just a slow default here from Shopify.
Here.
Opting to go for a little B-long default, trying to bait out any double flash plays.
Ooh, that's aggressive.
That's very clean. I like that. So you see FlyQuest cooking up on these little micro plays even.
Yeah.
So they look really comfortable on this comp.
And it kind of goes back, I'm not going to lie to you, it goes a little bit back to that confidence that we saw in that Sonder play. Right? Like the knife out, the cheeky attempt out of the ult to try to secure the bag and get another kill. Like that's that swagger that they're playing with that's keeping them ahead in this.
And when you're on the opposing side of that, when you're playing against a player that's doing crazy things like that,
yeah.
I mean, it can get in your head as well. Even if you're up. Oh. That stim was huge from Mel.
Yeah, that was massive.
30 seconds left.
Can be a little bit too much. I think the other thing is, too, as this round continues to push forward, Sarah's dropped another. As things seem to be stabilizing for just a moment. This is uncommon territory for a team like Shopify. They don't find themselves here very often where they're getting pushed, where you've got a Yoru who's playing ranked against them. Like, this is different, man.
Yeah, it's so tough. That X factor can be so oppressive to play against sometimes. I mean, all these other teams would know because they have to play against Flora, who does it every game.
Yeah.
This time being silenced, though. I think this might be the first map we've seen Flora be negative on in, I don't know. I don't even want to know. Probably like, what, 20 maps, probably, I would assume?
I mean, it's probably something ridiculous like that.
Something crazy.
Last player standing.
Cage triggered.
And while we were yapping that whole time in that retaking post plant, FlyQuest actually had a really good bonus round, getting 4 guns out from Shopify. So even in the rounds where they were down 3v5, making it extremely costly. They're doing a lot of things good right now, Doug. It's a really good sign for them
Remaining.
to potentially take a map away from Shopify.
Yeah, but they've got to close it out. That Red Bull clutch
Very true.
keeps Shopify in this, man.
Cutting through.
A crash out towards elbow. And silence across the entire site. Across the entire map.
See the protocols right away. If any hookah presence is made, the Brim from U-Haul is gonna insta smoke it. He doesn't have to rotate because of that positioning.
I can't stop looking at this crosshair.
It's so distracting.
I really like the secret. Oh, that nade's gonna hurt. But Donut's still feeling so much of the pressure. There it is, the kill on Demel.
Wow. That was crazy.
It was just too much.
Look at this. Off of all that short contact, just... All right, let's walk down hookah now. It's actually so smart, the macro game from FlyQuest right now, right? They delayed the hookah hit with the smoke from Short A, right? Presence was made towards Short A from the side of
Right.
Shopify.
Right?
And that allows FlyQuest to, all right,
30
let's
seconds
re-clear this hookah, make sure they're not going to go B. So we can have 4 people on this A site. It's a little bit too late, but should
they-
still be able to delay for long enough with these mollies.
They's in a really good spot.
Spike down
Almost
A.
gets the third. She was tucked the entire time, very reminiscent to what we saw
10
on
seconds
Ascent.
left.
But now with 10 seconds left, Floor's gonna have to make a play, and of course,
How do you
who
get
else
this
before
down?
Noya? They on the
Spike
swing, the
One
spike's
enemy
down, but that
remaining.
might be all it's gonna be, unless Noya can pull off a miracle. 56 HP. Sandra on the other side of the box.
remaining.
Lands a shot. 3 found. And Daya gets the 4th, gets the defuse, and gets another round for FlyQuest.
That was such a good round from FlyQuest. Out macroing, honestly, out macroing SR, and that's something we don't see every day. Doug. We do not usually see teams specifically in Game Changers outplaying SR to that level. So many little different things that they did to set themselves up for that entire round. And ultimately, Thea playing that U-Haul position to a T.
Dude, they're getting pushed here. We're gonna get a chance to look at it again. Donut was in such a good position, and again, this spot right here from Thea,
One enemy remaining.
almost getting away with the third, and
enemy
Noya's had some pretty ridiculous moments. But talk about Thea, who had admittedly a really quiet first game, has stepped up in a big way here in clutch moments for FlyQuest. Yeah, she's not lighting up the kill feed or whatever, but the value she's had is tremendous.
100%. And now we're seeing the second time out from Shopify. Things are getting a little bit scary here. Effie's trying to slow everything down.
It's just very unexpected.
It's really good play from FlyQuest. Shopify has no answer for the Sky Yoru combo on the B site. Now even bringing the raise here.
There.
Trying to grab Ray's ult for later in the round.
I mean, that would be huge.
Nobody from SR is on this side of the map, so they're not going to have any info that this is even being grabbed. And we might see like a TP crunch right now for Sonder.
The thing is, will the ult get here soon enough if they need to use it? Because you're right, they're contacting up. They have no idea that this is where the hit's headed.
Okay, info should, info should be gathered now.
See the
Like,
flash,
should
the
be aware.
Roomba back sight. They've kept him at bay. I think the other interesting thing we have to ask ourselves here is it worth investing this showstopper?
Spike planet.
Now it is.
I know exactly.
Now that they have numbers? Maybe.
100%.
Dodo Nut holding the fuse on what could be an explosive moment if they find the right timing, and there it is.
Have to bring this back right here. Great rocket.
Right onto floor. What more can they find? It's just pistols. And there's a 3-man flank. They also have the mollies coming in over the top. They have to push this. I don't know that there's another layer to this. They're going to be able to get the frags and get the kills. Even without that, Sarah has no spits left. They haven't... Have they even halved it? Okay, they're going to have enough time, but that was uncomfortably close, man.
1 second. Yeah, that was pretty close. I'd say that's pretty close. And it's so funny because I was going to say, they dying in this heaven area would be so huge for SR. But FlyQuest looks so good on that retake regardless. Understanding that, okay, we need to even this round out, so now we do have to invest the rocket, even though it is an eco round, or an anti-eco round, right? But a win's a win. You got to do what you got to do to win the round. Because had that rocket kill not come out on the side of floor, I mean, you leave floor up for long enough in a round, you know, the chances of you winning are significantly lower and lower as it goes on. And again, floor has been getting shut down big time on this map. It's obvious. Game plan of FlyQuest right now.
Oh, a little ahead of the flash. It was a cool idea, but it wasn't enough. Floor with the ult on mine. A 4v2. Satcheling forward. Not using it yet.
One enemy remaining.
Not needing to as she just pushes forward, takes the fight. And Shopify stick around.
There you go. Finally, Shopify punishing that B-long presence. Not allowing FlyQuest to have that entire lane for the whole round as the previous. So a good micro change from just the default of SR. And I really would like to see them lean into that B-long area a little bit more. Maybe push FlyQuest all the way back, get Noya pushed up there as well to hear and listen for the reclear, whether that reclear comes from Hookah or if it comes from B-long. All that info is super important.
I've got your trail.
I imagine this is inevitable. Off of the Seekers, maybe.
Great nade.
Floor holding on to the ult for now. Watching Dono try to hop, skip, and jump away. Stays alive. Somehow. Mel's pushing forward, looking for the transfer onto the second. The shorty in the face of Mel will be enough. But Shopify get another round.
Clapping back. Calm down, calm down. It was just an eco round win.
Yeah, but I do think here's where the game starts, right? Like, think about how long they've held Floor's ult. They've had Sarah's ult. Now there are guns on the other side. This is where I think we're going to see something really explosive, and this is where
Snowball.
It's on FlyQuest. It's going to be on FlyQuest to figure out, like, can you weather this? Because it's going to be a lot.
You're absolutely right, and just taking this site would be massive. Just getting onto the site with the rocket, clearing out all that space, allowing that Viper's Pit to come out. To secure the round win.
Oh, dude. That's just perfect. They do that in such quick succession.
That's the
Here
site.
it is. Here comes the party people pushing forward, satcheling out, getting into elbow, not landing the shots. But so much damage has been done. Oh my goodness. The fadeaway Roomba gets lace.
Oh my gosh! That's the Viper ult!
If they can get it down.
This is chaos. This
Starbound
is pure
still-
chaos.
Starbound still has theirs. Opting not to use it, opting to creep forward and find the right timing. Only one was found. That might have been their best shot at it.
No smokes up.
No, and dude, Thea has 4 HP.
Volley.
Yeah, she got spammed in that TP, by the way. So they're aware that she did take the TP. And if they weren't aware before, they heard that footstep for sure.
They
This
know
is
now.
so hard.
This is borderline impossible, and the discipline out from Shopify
Yeah.
is admirable. It's impressive. They refuse to relent. We're tied at 10.
And Shopify not falling for those early first bloods anymore, like they were in the previous rounds. So whatever Effie's told them has more dialed in on their crosshairs, has them more aware of the possibilities of these random peaks that Sandra has been going for, these random lines of aggression. And they're finally punishing FlyQuest for them. So now is the question, does FlyQuest continue to go for the plays that allowed them to get a lead in this series in the first place? Or are we going to see more passive play come out? Because when you get shut down like that so many rounds in a row, a lot of players tend to veer off the game plan of what gave you success in the first place, and that could be the demise.
Right, yeah.
So it's something we need to look out for.
Look at this deep pit short.
Like just
There's so much focus across the middle of the map. A crunch into sand, the pit mid.
it's a really good Viper's pit.
Go get him.
Goes all the way to U-Haul. Gives you a little cubby there as well.
Yeah,
It's really unique.
yeah, there's a lot there.
We'll have 4 players here on this A hit though. A lot of teams do like to flip Viper ult. And they're playing for it, Doug.
They're so close. Floor man. Oh, I thought Floor was going to get out. But no luck. They're going to thrifty their way into this.
Blunder.
I mean, a massive one. It's not done yet. But it's certainly getting closer. In the face of the pit. Noya falls. They've done it. I can't believe it. They've done it.
With all 5 alive. They didn't drop a single person into that round. That's how well set up it all was. And this is what I was telling you, Doug. Like, I want to see Shopify get Noya a little bit more pushed up and actually check with your body if the members of FlyQuest are actually pushing down that hookah area or long B area. She was sitting outside of hookah and understood that there was a pop flash outside of that, but if you don't re-clear that space, that allows FlyQuest to lean everybody over to that A site. So
Yeah, absolutely.
the macro a little bit not there for Shopify, maybe over compensating for the aggression of FlyQuest.
Wrong button.
Again, the Roomba, perhaps an aid.
They have 3 players here, Doug. And it's so hard to double molly raise nade. Like, how do you break into the site? And they want none of that. Pretty wise to do that is Shopify, just to back up. But again, I just feel like they're so passive on this attacking side. So scared to like walk into space, I feel like. On the extremities specifically, right? Walking into that hookah. I mean, walking into that showers, walking into B-long. That early
they're
hookah
playing-
presence, yeah. But
Yeah, I think that, but they're also just playing it so
30 seconds
so
left.
carefully.
Get out of here. My ult's ready.
that nade is huge.
Here comes this.
Oh, the rocket!
Oh, and she gets one on the floor.
Down A.
Again.
The pivotal
One enemy
target.
remaining.
FlyQuest gets to 12.
That is 2 times
Match point.
Floor has been rocketed in this half. Just really not able to play the game whatsoever. I mean, why even bring it to a gunfight if you could just win off a utility? Who cares if Floor's on a deagle? You know that if Floor gets a 4K with a deagle, the game's over.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds crazy to
It's
say
raps.
that, but it's true. Because once Floor gets going with that momentum, she's so oppressive. And now we're seeing another change in this crucial round. An op from Dodo.
For the first time. Mm-hmm. All map.
should allow them to get all this info in showers and allow the Brim to fast rotate to that B site for this hit.
Dude, I love how quiet Shopify are with this.
They finally
Up until
took that
this
space.
point.
They finally took long B space. This is what they needed to do, like, I don't know, 5-6 rounds ago, I feel like.
Poison's off.
But here's the problem with how they're playing this attacking side is they're only showing heavy towards one side. And they're committing almost every single time. There hasn't been like a layer of fakes or anything.
Yeah. And it's funny too because on Vine that's so prevalent.
Yeah.
But I guess this round it's working.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Caster's curse. Classic. Where did Dodo put the op?
Saving it? Picking it
There
right
we
back
go,
up
there we
now.
go. And honestly, B site in general, like with a full execute coming through, it's actually so hard to hold, even if you have 3-4 players there. I mean, look at where everybody died on the minimap, right? Everyone died in CT. If you don't have hookah and you don't have B long, I mean, it's nearly impossible to hold the actual site, especially with all the utility that can come out, right? You got so many different mollies. You have flashes that can flash every corner. You have a raise nade. It's hard to hold the site from back there.
Grenade.
It's much like the conversations we've had around A. It's just difficult.
Can I get a drop?
It's just really difficult to hold that site.
Holding back site is just tough.
Yeah.
Anywhere, right? Anywhere. On this map specifically. And it's not really something you want to be doing either when you're running a double duelist comp.
Right.
But it's like, they played so aggressive in the earlier rounds. It's like what I was telling you about. It's like, maybe we do just show a different just a different view of the round to Shopify. Give a different look. Might throw them off guard. It might make them overthink.
We've entered the last round of regulation. Either we're dancing a little bit longer and going to OT, or we're heading to Lotus.
He saw
Shopify. Eh?
He saw with the cam.
All of the impetus on Shopify here.
Was that Mel Smoke? I think that was Mel Smoke in hookah. So maybe trying to bait the reclear. There's the reclear. And Mel should be calling right now. Oh, I got hit by the flash, so keep going towards A. Keep going towards A. I kept them here. And here comes the dog, too. Mel should
so
break
deep
this.
on A. They're so deep on A. I mean, they're still playing back by pipes. I think in
This
large
is all
part due to
TP play.
You're right. Spike is going to be late. Flores ult. Sarah has it too.
Fire in the hole.
Oh, Sonder. Oh, Sonder could have made such a massive play, but Dodo gets 3. It's a really good counter. Now the pit is down.
30 seconds.
Corralling and controlling the site. And with it, the Spike in tow. Wall starting to close in as Thea hits the TP. Now applying pressure from both sides.
Oh my gosh.
Just one molly for Starbound.
Oh. Any type of
Spike
spam here is crazy.
Spike has been playing it, and with it, time becomes a factor once more. Starbound creeping forward. Sarah's dead! And that's the pit! Alexis left alone! She will not stand! We're going the distance, Trey. We're going to Lotus!
FlyQuest are really good on bind. That's what I got out of this. I love the way they played this entire map. Honestly, different looks. Throwing feints onto their attack. And Sonder looking so good on the Yoru, too. Just... Oh, man, it's clean. It's clean.
Sonder had some outrageous plays, and you're right. You know, you talked about it a couple of rounds ago. It felt like maybe there was a little bit lacking on the attack side of how Shopify approached that, how they approach bind in particular. But, dude, the confidence that we saw out of Sonder, I got to go back to the knife, the TP play, the attempt with the shorty. There was a lot of fun there. They're playing with swagger. They're playing with a lot of fun, and that should make Lotus outrageously interesting. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.